Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you what I like to call my cheesecake stuffed baked French toast. So it's basically like a really lovely French toast casserole that just has a filling that resembles cheesecake, and it's beautiful. I figured it would be perfect for this time of year because if you're doing like maybe a late brunch while the kids are still home from school or any kind of celebration, you can make this ahead of time, make it the night before, and then just bake it that morning, and it will perfume your house so beautifully, and it's such a showstopper of a breakfast recipe for a special occasion. So I wanted to share it with you. All right, let me run you through the ingredients. You need eggs. I've got lemon, brown sugar, whole milk, heavy cream, a loaf of challah bread because you know it's my favorite kind of bread to make French toast with, fresh blueberries. I've got some softened cream cheese, granulated sugar, and some vanilla extract. And you're also going to need some additional blueberries and a little bit more lemon and vanilla and some maple syrup to make a syrup to go on top. It's so good, you're gonna love it. I've got a casserole dish that I've buttered and that's ready and waiting for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the cheesecake filling, okay? So all I do is I take a block of cream cheese. You can, if you want a really like strong amount of cheesecake mix, you know, cheesecake filling, you can double the filling part. But I think a thin layer between each slice is perfect. So that's what I'm going to do. And a little bit of granulated sugar. I need just a splash of vanilla, or you can use vanilla bean paste if you want a stronger vanilla flavor. And then just because I love to put lemon in pretty much all of my cheesecakes that have a light or like a light flavor to them, I'm going to add a little bit here, and I'm going to reserve the juice for later for my sauce. Okay, what I'm going to do now with my hand, can I bump this bowl anymore? All I'm going to do now with my handheld electric whisk is I'm going to whisk this together until it's really nice and fluffy and thinned out. I'm also going to add just like a tablespoon or two of heavy cream. It kind of helps get everybody started. That looks perfect. And basically what I'm going to do now is make 6 sandwiches. So I've got 12 slices of challah bread, and I'm going to smear some cream cheese mixture, between 2 slices to make sandwiches, and then you just line them in your casserole dish, however you need to do it to make them fit. If you have to cut them, go ahead and cut them, whatever floats your boat, so just literally look what I'm doing. You just smear a little bit of that, and you put your lid on, and 1 sandwich done. And I kind of just lean it a little bit. Once you have more in there, it'll hold better. That's pretty much it. Just make sandwiches with cream cheese. All right, so you see I have a little bit of cream cheese mixture left over, right? Because I didn't want to overstuff my slices. Don't you dare get rid of that. In fact, if you can reserve about 1/4 of it and you just make your custard in the same bowl with the remaining, it will be the most luscious, thick, rich, delicious custard in the history of ever. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so now to this, you pretty much add everything else. I've got my eggs. I've got my brown sugar. I love to add brown sugar to my regular French toast and to my French toast casseroles. Whole milk, your heavy cream. I mean, it is a treat of a dish. It's not an everyday breakfast item, of course, but worth it. And then a good splash of vanilla, and then just using the same mixer with the same beaters and everything, just go ahead and give this a good whisk until everything is really well combined. Okay. Just take a spatula. If there's little teeny tiny lumps of cream cheese, like just literally like smaller than a pea size, it's fine. Do not panic. Now you bring your sandwich mixture over, and it looks like it's got, plenty of spaces, but you have to remember this is the bread's gonna swell, the custard's gonna fill it all in, it's gonna work out perfect. And then you just pour your custard over, and I'm gonna show you what I do in just a minute. You just take that. You want to make sure that all the bread is touching the custard, like so. Then I take some fresh blueberries, and I just scatter those all over the top, like that. I'm also going to make a blueberry maple syrup for this that is just to die for, and it's so easy. And you don't have to just serve this on this French toast. It's good on anything. And then you just take a little tiny bit of granulated sugar, just a little bit, and I like to sprinkle it right on the very top of the bread, like so, maybe about a tablespoon total. And now what I need to do is I am going to take my spatula, just give everything a gentle press, and then I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, pop it into the fridge for a minimum of 4 hours, or better yet, overnight, whichever you have. So I'm going to go pop it into the fridge for about 4 hours or so, and then we'll get going and baking it. All right, so my French toast has been sitting in the fridge for about 6 hours at this point. You can see the custard has absorbed quite a bit, and you can tell right here on the one piece right here that it's kind of just really falling apart easily, and that's because the custard has soaked through the bread. So now the bread's really wet, really soggy, which is a good sign, you know? You can do this overnight, like I said, and you could just bake it off the next morning or for brunch or whenever you have people over. I've got my oven preheated to 350. I'm going to cover this with some aluminum foil. I'm going to pop it in there covered for 30 minutes. I'm going to then, after that, remove the foil and continue to let it bake for about 45 minutes or until a beautiful golden brown color. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done, and then we'll make our blueberry maple syrup to drizzle over top. So good. All right, so to recap, the French toast went in the oven covered for 30 minutes, and then I took the foil off for the last 45 minutes. So in total, it was in there for about an hour and 15 minutes. Once it comes out, it'll be really puffy and gorgeous. Unfortunately, it's really hard for me to show you that because I need it to cool for a bit before I serve it and it deflates, but it's perfect. You can see it's just beautifully wobbly, which means it's not dried out. It is magnificent and it smells insane. You can serve this as is with some maple syrup on top and you'd be golden, but I am pushing the blueberry envelope a little bit further and making a blueberry maple syrup, which, by the way, you don't have to serve with just this. You can serve it with pancakes, you can serve it with waffles, you can serve it on muffins, you can serve it on ice cream, you can serve it on your shoelaces. I mean, you can serve it on anything your heart desires because it's really good. Let's get started. In a saucepan, you're going to add blueberries. I need most of these, and a little bit of maple syrup. Turn that on. I'm also going to add a squeeze of lemon and a little bit of vanilla extract, about a teaspoon or so. And you're just going to cook this over a medium heat long enough for the blueberries to kind of burst and then become a little more syrupy. And I'll show you what it looks like when we're there. But you know what? While that happens, I am just going to go ahead and cut myself a little modest piece. I'm just going to scoop it right out. Oh, it just smells insane. Look at that. It's just soaked through, the custard soaked through everything so beautifully. I love that. I'm just going to have that ready for me. And that way, when my syrup is ready, all I got to do is just done. That looks fantastic. You can see the blueberries have slumped down and it's just beyond gorgeous. Now I'm going to add the remaining fresh blueberries because you've got really good texture that way. Just stir that in. Oh, and it smells beyond good. Now you really should let this cool for a bit before you serve it because it's, you know, hot and it's, you know, sugar, it's maple syrup. You don't want to burn yourself, but I have about this much, wow, I can't even think, of this much patience. 0. So I'm going to go for it. I want a little bit of that cream cheese. I want to make sure I get every little tiny bit. Oh my lantern. And it goes down like ice water on a hot day. Too easy, if you ask me. It is so good. It's ridiculous. I mean, come on. This is like the best French toast recipe on the history of the world. The funny thing is, it's got a lot going on, right? This is quite rich of a dish, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels really light. It feels really light in texture as well. It's not heavy and dense at all. That is insanity. I promise. Definitely worth the splurge. Definitely worthy of making it for company this weekend. It's everything you want it to be and then some. It's just so good. Go to laurainthekitchen.com to get the written recipe. I hope you enjoy spending time with me. Please make this weekend, and I want to see a photo on whatever social media platform you use. You can find me pretty much anywhere. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time.